Want some, get some, bad enough, take some.
It's been, whoa, it echoes too.
Yeah, it's 1,000 gallon, over 1,000 gallons fit in there.
Now, when I was a kid, I had a job where I had to tie in manholes, so in the sewer lines and stuff. So this is nothing. This is not bad at all.
This is normal for you.
No, this is normal unless you close that on me. Then I'll probably start freaking out.
That's why I freak out. That's how I feel doing it, because I get claustrophobic and freak out in these fucking things.
Very excited. Looking forward to this. It's gonna be like half the process today. It's got a ferment for what did he say earlier, Raymond? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So it's going to be about a month-long process, and this beer will debut in March at the bash. So when they have a bash, which I'm probably not on that show, I don't know, because I'm all over the place in March. But if I am, it'll debut there, and it'll be called the Brewed.
Rice hulls are a key part of this beer because it's very wheat heavy. Wheat gums up the mash, makes it so the water doesn't rinse through it. You don't rinse the water through, you don't get sugar, you don't get alcohol.
All right.
These things are packed as fuck, so I just beat the shit out of this bag.
So this is why when I ask you if you go to the gym, you tell me you're in the gym every day at work.
Oh no,
because you're pounding the hammer.
We have a gym in the back.
Oh, you got a gym in the back. Well, pounding that grain, that looks like a job.
Oh, this is a workout in here for sure.
So you're kind of like the Rocky Balboa of the beer, though. You're in here instead of punching meat, you're pounding the grain. See, pounding the grain, pounding the grain, pounding the grain. This thing got to blow up here. You got a steam cooking in here.
We have vents and all that.
So how many gallons of water we got in one of these things?
This is 860 gallons right now.
860 gallons heating up.
That'll reduce by like an eighth once all the grain's added, and we will transfer all the grain into there. Let it settle for a while, just to form the bed for the water to rinse through, create the wort. The wort is what is then fermented and turns into the beer.
Everything he just said. Everything he just said. And what is that, water?
Lactic acid.
I didn't think y'all 800 gallons of water you needed to add.
Well, because the water's too soft, we need the pH to be in proper range so that when all the grain gets in, it finishes at the proper pH range.
Right, so your water's too soft, so you put a lactic acid in there, and it gets it at the right pH level to get the grains balanced out. Awesome. Like I understood any of that, but I think I do actually. Gangrel's Brewed is going to be a super ale with cherries, which is a take on a super classic beer from Belgium called the Creek. And the Creek was a wild sour. Well, this will be a kettle sour. This will probably come in about 5.5% alcohol. But it's a month-long process. Again, it's going to take 2 weeks to ferment after we get this process done. Now, we've already covered whatever Joe said about all 800 gallons of water and all this stuff running through here to make the alcohol and the sugar. I don't understand that process. He's a mad scientist. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be super cool. It should have a red color to it. It's a sour. So we're fanging and banging. So we're going to get to work soon here. As soon as these things get totally heated up, we'll be ready to go. So usually I say, want some, get some, bad enough, take some. Well, it's want some, get some, bad enough, make some. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to brew the Brewed. That Raymond, he goes to the gym. You just hold a camera all the time. He's lifting 60-pound bags of grain.
That hammer right there next to you, behind it.
He didn't beat it enough. There you go.
Right up there, you can see the grain coming in. You drop down this chute right here, right into the thing.
Very cool. So you can see all that grain moving through there, and it drops down here. So I guess he activated it when he opened the chute. Amazing. Amazing.
All the stereotypes around witches were all based around, start at the beginning. Who do you think brewed the beer back in the day? Who do you think brewed beer in the beginning?
Cauldron.
Yeah, but I mean, male or female, who do you think was brewing beer?
Females.
Exactly. Nowadays, brewing's a pretty much male-dominated field.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was all the women that were brewing the beer. So your witch like stereotypes are all beer. The cauldron. That's
the cauldron. The kettle.
Is the cauldron
wow.
right here. the pointy hats were so that when they were in public, like out at the market or whatever, that people knew where to go to get their beer.
Oh,
they knew
wow.
who to ask for the beer.
Wow.
And the brooms they would have outside their houses, like sticking out of the wall, so you knew what houses brewed beer, so you could get beer on the way.
All right, so because Joe's not mic'd, I'm going to repeat this, and it's cool. Now, he's from the Boston area. Now, he's giving me a history on witches and beer. He said back then, mostly women brewed the beer, and what they brewed in the cauldrons of the kettles, this. So that's what they brew them in. He said they wore the pointy hats out in public so people knew where to get their beer at. So the witch's hat was like, hey, I got beer, mofos, come on over here, right? So the cauldron is the kettle, the witch's hat's that, and then they had the broom, and here comes the broom. The broom was on the door on the outside, so they knew
when they're traveling, where to get beer.
when they were traveling, where they could stop and get beer. That's awesome. That's a little awesome history on witches and beer. That's very cool. I find that super, super fascinating, and I didn't know that.
I figured
so
you might
I didn't know that, and that's really awesome.
I'm sure witches and vampires hang out. So
Yeah, we do. I married a couple. I'm not. Not now. I got a nice, lovely lady now. All right, so we're here with Nelio. I never get his last name right. It's something Como Costa.
Costa, yeah.
Como Costa.
I have too many last names.
One of the main owner of CCW along with Dan Ackerman. And they had a triple choke slam beer, and you've done that.
Yes.
And now CCW, Nelio, Dan, and CCW, and myself, Gangrel, collaborating with Unbranded Brewery for Gangrel's Brewed. That's what's going to be Brewed. B-R-E-W-E-D, Brewed. Gangrel's Brewed. So we went through the process of the mixing and everything. But you know what I'm going to tell you, in case he couldn't hear me up there. Do you know the story about witches and beer?
No.
Okay. So I said it up there, he told me. So I'm going to retell you the story.
Perfect.
So Raymond probably could pick it up clearer here and here than he did up there. So what back in the day, especially the Boston area, witches, not witches, but women were brewed. They brewed the beer. They made the beer. What they brewed in? The cauldron. All right. And they wore pointy hats out in public, so you knew who brewed the beer.
Interesting.
And the brooms up on their thing, they put it there so when you were traveling out of town, you knew where to find your beer.
Wow.
So apparently women were brewing and they got labeled witches, you know? Like, yeah. So that's super, super cool.
Incredible. That just blew my mind because, I mean, that's
it all makes sense now, right?
Yeah, that's in the lexicon. I mean, no one explains why they have a pointy hat. No one explains why they have a broom, and it's all beer related. Just
it's all beer related.
American beer, you know, like our, you know, but it's incredible.
So why not bring the vampires to make them beer related?
100%, yes.
Or wrestling, CCW.
Yeah.
And when's the next? This is going to debut on the March Bash. When's that date?
March 4th, right here, Unbranded Brewing is going to be incredible.
March 4th. I don't even know if I'm in town, which is going to be ridiculous if I'm not. So hopefully I'm here. This is my beer debut at the Bash here. So March 4th, you can come out here. You can sit down in nice facilities. It's AC, the patios, and you can enjoy a great, tremendous wrestling show full of energy, surprises, twists, turns, loop-de-loops, and hoop-de-hoops. And it's a great time for everybody. And because it's a brewery, I believe that the kids are welcome. Our kids are
100%. It's an all-age
100%.
show.
It's all-age show because it's in the back and it's away from, we're assuming so.
Away from the tap room and all that type of stuff. But, I mean, Unbranded has an incredible tap room. So for pre-show, for post-show, amazing food, amazing beers, and then amazing wrestlers like the Vampire Warrior Gangrel, and his debut beer here at Unbranded Brewing, the Brewed.
The Brewed, yeah. All right, so now what I noticed different is you got held up by a train and you got here, right?
Yes, yes.
So we did the mixing process, he did all that. But when I came here and watched you do it with the triple choke slam, you had to shovel the grain in.
They use my physical labor here, and I'm shoveling grain in, and now this is so cool that they have a system to put that grain in.
Streets that are running it in from the outside.
I'm sure it's better for your back, better for your,
Again, so awesome, tremendous.
Very, very cool. And before, you know, you were talking about like myself, Dan Ackerman, Gangrel, David Heath. If I would say if CCW was a car, this man is the engine because he is the hardest working man in professional wrestling, and he pulls us forward. He's pulled us forward in the last 2 years or a year and a half now, more than we've ever done. So if the beer is as good as this man right here, it should be a bestseller. So come on out March 4th and sample the Brewed.
I'm just blessed to be part of the home team, CCW, right here in South Florida. But they are expanding everywhere, so Don't be surprised if they pop up in places you never expected to see him.
100%,
Like whack-a-mole, everywhere you're gonna be, CCW gotta beat it down. All right, gentlemen, we're here at Unbranded Brewing Company, and we're about to have Hialeah Lights and Kick Rocks to celebrate kicking off Gangrel's Brewed collaboration with Unbranded Brewing Company and CCW. Thank you, gentlemen. Looking forward to the journey.
Cheers.